I started as a low-level software engineer, controlling machines, and moved into sort of more business level accountancy solutions, and now into document storage and data capture. I started my business in 1982, and for the last 12 years we've been using AI and AI-style automation in the back of our solutions, but we haven't been calling it AI. My business is software as a service company. We deliver data capture, document management, storing and retrieval of all sorts of business objects, big volumes, small volumes, for all types of organisations, and they're typically spot solutions, and our customers do not accept anything but precision. So Zebra Bank does not accept if you get a digit wrong on an invoice, or Notts County Council are not accepting if you get a payroll increase and you get it wrong, or a pay slip going to the wrong person. So you cannot afford in any of our deliveries for anything to be even less than 100% right. So it's not new. 20 years ago I did some work at Old Maston using OCR to read Cyrillic characters of documents that have been found in USSR, and we used a form of AI, because none of us speak Russian, to use linguistics processing to read those documents and assist with the deciding what's in them and is it a threat and should we do more about it. We've had workflow automation which is used for context. Please come in if you'd like to come sit there. We used workflow automation and robotic process automation to automate tasks. That uses a form of AI because it needs to work out, based on the content of a document or the content of a record, where should I send this piece of work next, or who should get this piece of work next, or should I reject this invoice. We've had machine learning and teach and repeat in document processing solutions for ages, where it's said to an operator, I've guessed this answer because I can't quite read the document, is it right? And the third time the operator says yes, it memorises that, it learns it, and it reapplies it when it sees a similar document in the future. All the stuff that you think AI does, it's been around a long time. But the difference today, sorry I should say this here, the difference today is processing power has gone outrageously fast and high. So now instead of processing things in minutes and hours, it processes things in microseconds across a huge data set. So the truth is, artificial intelligence doesn't think, it doesn't understand, it doesn't deduce, but it does know things, and it does not have common sense. But the things that it knows, it doesn't understand, and we must have mixed the two terms up. So AI is a prediction model. It looks at huge amounts of data, and based on the most number of hits and the most likely of those hits, and then tells you that's your answer. And it does that across any data that's open and available on the internet. I use the example often in this part of the presentation around if you were an environmentalist and you were trying to find out the impact of fossil fuels in the North Sea from 2000 to 2023. And if you ask Copilot, Gemini, ChatGPT, any of those questions, it will come back and give you an answer. But the reality is that cannot be the truth, because the truth is all with the petrochemical companies. They're all in locked databases, securely closed, and nobody on the internet has got access to them. So none of those engines can actually help you on your research request into environmental studies in the North Sea, because the data is not publicly available. Therefore, you'll get a false impression when Copilot says, well, this much fossil fuels have been burnt in England, therefore the sea acidity is this. It's not true, because it's not using the full set of data. So, sort of analogy, AI is to thinking what a calculator is to maths. It'll give you an answer, but it won't interpret it, and it has to be told what the question is. It doesn't work it out from where it is or what it's doing. So does that sort of ring with everybody? This thing is just not intelligent. It just gives answers, but it doesn't know if those answers actually make sense. It's just telling you what it's got from the big set of data. But it feels intelligent. I think you'll all agree. Positive answers, quick response, bold statements, bold construction of the sentences, almost a confident voice that you can trust to give you the answer using confident language. And of course it's on a massive scale, so you feel like you're in a safe place because of the amount of data, just because it's confident. Where it works is lots of repetitive tasks. So if you're in a finance environment and you've got a spreadsheet, and every week you update that spreadsheet from a CSV file from Sage, get AI to do it. Because once you've done it once and you validated it, it can just run that every day. And you can have weekly data or daily data instead of monthly data. So there's lots of places you can apply it. You have, give it clear rules, what it's supposed to do and what it's not supposed to do. Very few of us tell ChatGPT, don't do this, but do this instead, because it doesn't understand that do not do something, because it's not intelligent. Use it where you've got validation and verification capability as well. So don't think it's rubbish, because it's not. It can help a business process, but please don't send it out to a customer or send it out to a supplier or send it to the Batman before you've checked it. So human in the loop, the techies call it, some sort of human validation or some sort of data validation or lookup to check you're in the right arena. So this is a real customer examples. Train companies, there's two of them, and they were having horrendous problems handling inbound customer services emails. I'm sure you've all tried to claim delay repay or tried to communicate with somebody in the marketing department of a train company, and these two businesses basically said, we need something to read inbound emails, and we need it to understand the content, we need it to categorize and classify the content so we can get those emails and those documents and letters to the right person with the right knowledge to solve the problem. And it used to be 20 days to handle an inbound email, and then often the email volume had tripled by then because the people that sent the first email hadn't had a response to the second one, hadn't had a response to the third one, which falsified the actual volume of people they needed. And using AI, we can use a combination of data capture technology, machine learning, lookups using AI, lookups into natural language processing tables and databases, so we can understand content, we can understand sentiment, we can understand sarcasm. Because one of the people that tried to do this on their own actually sort of had a compliment section, and of course, I bloody love you, East Midlands Railways, they said. Yeah. So that went to the compliment section. Your bloody trains are always late. It's a complaint, and the solution we've built understands that sentiment, understands that language, so it knows that's a complaint, not a compliment. That's just one example. This turnaround to 2 days from 20 is a huge difference in how the people perceive, how their clients perceive them. These guys are a scenery company in South London, Croydon. They make stages, settings for things like Cats and Wicked and that sort of stuff, and they also make the staging for the UEFA Cup presentations and things like that. So we've got a lot of invoices. There's 4 different departments. They have a sign-off process with 6 people validating that they've spent the right money. They buy truckloads of wood and metal and then share it between the departments. And they had a huge cost with mainly people and slow payment to suppliers, meaning they weren't getting some of the quick payment discounts. They weren't really properly validating the invoices. So we use a mixture of data capture, AI, automation, and human in the loop to speed up the process. And we've saved them 60% of their accounts payable costs in a year. Now, on its own, AI can't do this because it doesn't know how to integrate to Sage and send invoices to Sage. It doesn't know how to read a portal and download invoices from a contract service provider portal. It doesn't know what a duplicate is because it's not intelligent. So you have to mix all the technologies together, and what you get is fabulous fraud detection. People sending invoices with fraudulent bank details, people sending duplicate invoices to pay somebody else, and always matches the values because it can do the maths and it can check the VAT matches the total, and etc. So 60% of something that costs you £60,000-70,000 a year is worth having, isn't it? As a relatively small business. But it's not just AI on its own. These guys are a bank, mid-tier bank, and again, trying to reduce their costs, moving out of London to sort of more suburban areas like Liverpool and Birmingham, and needed a methodology of getting both a combination of electronic documents and paper documents to the right people. So all the paper ones get scanned. They use the classification engine I described earlier to work out, is it a bill, is it a change of address, is it some ID checking, and then it sends it to the right place. Now the right place is actually a digital bucket of stuff, and therefore you can let anybody who you think is authorised to see that digital bucket. AI does not know what is true. It only knows what is likely to be true, and fluent is not the same as factual. And so I think what I'm trying to give you all is an AI health warning. There's a business risk if you don't provide validation on the output. You can't just have blind trust and let it remove all human responsibility in your processes, because it will catch you out. So, is there intelligence in AI? No. But there's powerful capability to improve and support and help your business, whatever size it might be, from wherever you apply it. Remember, there is no understanding. But you can reduce admin, you can reduce costs, you can improve your turnaround response to clients, you can increase your accuracy, because you can get the engine to take away the grunt of checking things, and then you only have to check the erroneous ones. So it can make your accuracy better, but you've always got to validate. And just don't send it out if it's not right. So I think don't chase hype, solve real problems in a practical way, focus on your return on investment, because you can waste more time trying to make this work than actually doing the job. And use it as a tool, not as a decision maker. So lots of programmers thought that when sort of some of these automatic 3GLs and 4GLs came out, things would write code and we wouldn't need programmers anymore. We do. AI developed code doesn't produce error checking. It doesn't do thorough testing. It just tries to be as fast as it can be. And you don't know what it's embedded in there or where it's got its ideas from. So some Chinese superpower can embed routines in your software that you've safely used Claude to develop, but it's embedded stuff in there that you'll never find. So be warned. So, AI will not replace intelligence, but businesses that understand AI and its limitations will replace the businesses that don't take care. Because the businesses are suffering because they've invested too much in AI, it's not giving the ROI, and they don't know what to do next. Because they've let the knowledge and the intelligence walk out the door in an attempt to save costs. And it's not always a good thing. So you pronounce my company name Engeneum because everybody gets it wrong. I thank you all for your time, and we've got a few minutes for questions if there's any in the audience. Or was it such a good presentation? Okay.
Have you taken a look at QuickBooks Online AI at all? You said you used to do accounting, so I'm interested.
Yeah, so we haven't done QuickBooks.
They've completely ruined it in my view.
We've done Xero,
yeah,
and we've done the Sage Indac,
right,
and we've done Business Central from Microsoft and NetSuite, and you just can't trust them. And it's actually making, well, for me anyway, it's making the process clunkier.
Yeah,
it's not actually
most professional. Well, most people I know, clients and professionals, hate what they've done to it.
But they've tried to make it AI so they can put it on the marketing sheet, I think.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And Zero's the same.
We keep reverting to the old way, move back to old version.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
But we won't be able to do that forever, so we just have to.
Or switch.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm seriously thinking about
Seriously, I mean, I think people are switching.
it. Yeah, but most
And
of
I've
our
got
clients are
people
on it,
on
so
stage 50
yeah,
who want to go to a cloud product.
yeah.
They just run it, but they're
Oh,
running
that's-
stage 50 in the cloud because
Yeah, that's
they don't
awful as well,
want to go to
Yeah,
a Sage cloud product to pay lots of money.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I was just going
Thank
to say,
you.
in your experience, obviously, of using AI tools now, there's a lot out there in the marketplace. What are you finding in terms of your clients and you use in terms of what actual AI tools you're finding
So
good or bad?
I think you have to pick the one that fits what you're trying to achieve. So if I talk to my network of programmers that I know, they'll have their favourite code generator for test routines and things that they use. My clients mainly are Microsoft users and therefore either have Copilot in their licensing or they're adding Copilot licenses. We as a business use Copilot, but this slideshow was produced with ChatGPT based on the content I gave to my marketing manager, and it produces the slides.
Do you also find that a lot of your clients are restricted in what they can use within their business? Like you said, they've
That's the
got
problem.
to use Microsoft, they've got to use Copilot.
We haven't found that anywhere, really. But again, we're trying to be the team. We sound like the voice of doom, don't we? A bit. We're trying to teach caution. You wouldn't get him drive a digger if he didn't know how to drive a digger, and it's as dangerous as that in some respects. Getting it wrong. So we're sort of putting out words of caution. I think. Good. Excellent. My time is up. I've been kicked out by Megan soon, I'm sure. Anything else for anybody?
It's really interesting.
Good. Okay. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.